Okay. Let's get this going on here. Oops. Get this slid over here. Okay. Okay, so I had to do this. All right, maybe that'll work. All right, I think we got everything. Yeah, we're all set up. Okay. So, all right. You know, I should have brought something to drink out here. We got 4 people in here. Okay. Yeah, I probably should have got something to drink. I forgot all about that when I was out here preparing to go live. Let me see. I might run in real quick and grab something to drink. I'll be right back. All right. Okay, guys. Got me something to drink. And then I'm going to go ahead and clean up some of my bench here before we get started. Just check the chat real quick. I don't see anything in the chat yet. We've got 2 people in here so far watching. Let's see. Just trying to pick some things up because I want this space to be kind of clutter free while I'm working on this carburetor. And then I'll show you guys what I did to the Rocat hybrid roll cage. And then the next thing I thought I would do is take it to I was going to take the roll cage off the Rocat hybrid, and I was going to take it down to the car wash, blast it off at the car wash, come home, clean it up with some acetone. I want to grind some welds on that baby too before and clean it up, but I wanted to paint the cage. I was thinking probably I was going to do it white. I think that would look pretty decent on it, have a white cage. So, yeah, anyways, this is the carburetor that it wouldn't draw fuel in it. It was either, I can't remember if it was on the first, okay, so I have 2 990s, and one of them's over there on that K320, that Kraken engine, the engine that came out of the Kraken. And that one works, and it's mounted on the engine. And then I had this one. I think this one either came off the 35 or the 40, but I had another one. And this one I had on, and it was running, and then I put it back on the 35. I can't remember what I was doing, but I switched it over to this, and I was out there trying to get it to start, and I had it primed, and I had, you know, since it's a 990, it has no choke, so I had to cover the intake snout or whatever, the velocity stack. And even doing that, I could not get the spark plug to even get a hint of wet on it. I mean, I was out there pulling it for probably, I don't know, probably 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. And like most of the time I had my hand over the intake, so it should have drew in carburetor, in fact, or fuel. In fact, it should have been flooded, but it wasn't. And we're going to figure out what in the heck we got going on here, whether we just have some gum up stuff or what we got going on. So I think the first thing we're going to do is get rid of this primer bulb, and under here is going to be our diaphragm. I want to inspect the diaphragm. and see what it's like. So we're gonna go ahead and pop these 4 screws out. And now that I'm taking this carburetor apart, I'm gonna completely go through it, and more than likely I'm gonna run down to George's lawnmower, just right down the street, and I'm going to get a spiral diaphragm kit for this, and we'll be putting a spiral diaphragm in this. Oh, I don't want to do that. Lost one of them screws. But I've never really had an issue with I guess with my VP fuel like gumming up or going bad or doing this sort of thing to it. So and the diaphragm looks good. Yeah, it looks good. Trying to get it off of here. Now let's yeah, that thing should have been working good that way. I'm probably not going to mess with that. Our needle and seat appear to be operating the way they're supposed to be. So I suppose the next thing we'll do is pull off this bottom where the fuel goes in, see if there's something blocking or what we got going on there. What we got going on? Nobody's in the comments. I shouldn't say nobody's in there, just don't have any. And this I will screw all the way back out so it's not touching. The throttle hanger. There we go. And okay, so now that we got the gaskets off of it and the diaphragm out of play and this bottom one out of play, what we're going to do is we're going to blow some compressed air through these ventures and see what we have going on. But from the looks of it, there's no gum in it. The carburetor should be working, but it's not. So I wonder if something got plugged up along the line somewhere. I wouldn't think so. Just trying to clean this off the best I can without tearing it or harming it. But like I said, I'm this far already. I may as well put a spiral diaphragm in it. But anyways, so yeah. Yeah, there's the pulse hole at the bottom. One. All right, I'm going to run some air through this. Hopefully it doesn't get too bad for noise. All right, we got that. So, I mean, I guess I need to clean that up a little bit. Yeah. There was quite a bit of stuff underneath here, actually. All right. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but there's somebody riding four-wheelers around here. Probably over at Pro Motorsports across the street. That primer is in good shape. So I guess the next thing we're gonna do, I don't know. Yeah, that was on there like that. I don't think I want to do that though. What I think I want to do is put this bottom back on. There we go. That's more like it. Okay. And we'll set that down on there. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead. What I'm going to go ahead and do is install this back on without the diaphragm in it because I want to put the spiral diaphragm in this. So, and I'm just going to put these screws in here loosely because, hey, what's going on, bro? I personally, about your question about the 990, I guess a lot of people, they either love it or hate it. And this is not your your average 990. You probably already know about that, but this is a Rooster Tail 990. And so it's a little different in the sense that they go through the carburetor and they make it deliver more fuel in a sense. So but I personally like these carburetors. This is the first one I've ever had a problem with, and I have several. Well, I have two of them right now. So, but yeah, I really like them for a small bore. This one of these 990s actually came on my 40 GT when I first got it. That's been a long time ago, guys. That's been probably 4 years ago. I had that GT40 or 40 GT. So then we'll just keep that buttoned up like that. And then what I wanted to do is put it in a bag. But I'll probably have a bag somewhere easy. I don't know if it'll fit in that bag. Well, anyways, I'm not really worried about that right now, so I just want a clean place to set it, you know. I can just set it here for now, I suppose. No big deal. And then I thought I could bring you guys up here and show you guys what I ended up doing with the roll cage on this. And what I ended up doing was this part used to go straight across, and it used to, you can actually see just a little spot right there where it was like kind of rubbing. I didn't think it was rubbing that bad. Well, it turns out I think it was last live, I went live. We were going over this machine. Don't worry about my crappy little weld there, but we were going over this machine, and I know I was down in here and I was tightening these bolts. And when I put my Allen key in here, I noticed when I wedged it in here, the pipe moved. And so that being said, I knew that was causing a little bit more interference than what I thought. And so I went ahead and I just cut that straight bar out, and then I bent that piece of tube to go in it, and it made a nice little, you know, it almost looked like it was meant to be there. Yeah, so that's what I did, you know, to the cage to make that work. Because I remember mentioning it. I mentioned it, yeah, I mentioned it in the last live too, as well as that steering servo. I want to get a new steering servo for here because it's just got a lot of slop in it. I mean, a lot of that is in the servo saver and stuff, but there's a lot of slop in that servo. So, okay, let me see what we're gonna try to accomplish next. That did not take near as long as I thought it was going. I thought we were gonna find something. I can't find anything wrong with that. So, yeah. And then I know that the pulse hole is on the bottom because I could see it when I took this off, how it all worked. So, anyways, I am going to replace this. I don't think that diaphragm is bad. I don't think it is. Of course, it had a lot of stuff on the top. Okay, so the underneath side of that plastic thing had a lot of stuff on it. So that could be, maybe this diaphragm is getting worn out. Maybe it's worn out enough to the point it won't pump fuel, I guess. So that could be the situation. Yeah. So let's come down here. I do have this. Maybe we'll see what's under here. Because I'm pretty sure this diaphragm will work in that carburetor. Oh boy, look at that. And that's spiral. Woohoo! Okay, so now I remember how to do this. Oh yeah, it's this way. Yeah, I remember. Because I'm pretty sure I got to change out that lever. Yeah, I think I do. Little did I know I had a diaphragm already. Not only that, but it's spiral. Haha. I'm trying to think of an engine we'll be testing it out on. Yeah, it's got a way different lever in it. Okay, so here it is. Not wanting to mix my screws up. Okay. There's a spring. Let me grab my tweezers. Okay. Yeah, this is 1194 WT 1194. So, but as you can see, we're putting its guts in this one. So how many people we got going on? 3. There we go. And I probably should have apologized beforehand. Oh, I think that might have been what the deal was. Guys, I think that's exactly what the deal is there. This, I don't know if you can see it, but this lever and everything was not sliding free. It's like all gummed up. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. Like somebody had put something on it that wasn't supposed to be there. have that spring. Yeah, I can see we're going to want that other spring because it's longer. But I think we can use that needle. And then, if I remember right, we want to go ahead and run this screw in just a little bit. Just a little bit. Put our spring in. Then okay, I think I got it the first time. I can't believe that happened. Oh, no. Okay. So I know what happened. It slipped. There's a little groove that the needle slips in. And it slipped out of that groove. There we go. I think that's the money ticket there, boys. And girls, I don't know if they have any girls in here. But okay, so now before I completely crank that down, slide that over. Lock that down. Now, I know that gauge is, that gasket's going to mess with my gauge reading. Man, I'm going to go with it because I feel like that gasket, there's just that gasket space in there. See, what you're trying to do when you're measuring this is that little little finger thing that sticks up is that you want that just to barely touch this. Well, since I have that gasket on there and I feel like if I pull it off or I peel it off, I'm going to ruin it. I don't want to do that. So what I'm looking at right here is the space. I don't know if you can see that because I'm having a hard time seeing it, but the space in between that needle arm thing and the spiral deal, it seems to be okay. So what I'm trying to say is if that gasket wasn't there, I think the carburetor would be set perfect. I truly think that in my heart. So what we're going to do is we're just going to reassemble from here. Yep, we got the needle in it. Yep. Okay. So Bam, just like that. Bam, just like that. Sorry about my sound effects and stuff. But now we have, I mean, we need to hook it up to a fuel source and an engine to see if it runs. But now we have upgraded this 990 to a spiral diaphragm. And I really did not intend on doing that. I didn't think I was going to be able to do that, but oh shoot, wait. There's one piece that's missing. And that goes on the bottom. I just saw that. It blends in with this white paper towel. I don't know if you guys can see it down there, but there we go. I think that's going to be the ticket. Oh, okay. That's what that is. That's that gasket. Okay. Gotcha. There we go. I thought I would ruin it, and I don't think I did. I'm just going to clean that gasket up clean this surface up real quick. I'm gonna do this kind of probably off camera because I need to hold the carburetor upside down so nothing falls in it. So, because I'm scraping this extra gasket on, but now we should be right here. And then, hey, before we do that, let's go ahead and check the lever since we got the gasket off and see what it's like. And get it down here where I can see it. I like it. I thought it was probably right, but I just wanted to make sure. Rather than having to do things twice. Okay, so we got that. There we go. Now she fits a little better. I knew something was wrong when this top plastic piece wouldn't. There's little dowels and they wouldn't go down in and seat right. So all right. All right. We're almost there. All right. It sounds like it should. That's good. Okay, so the only other way to test this is to put it on an engine, and I really don't have an engine, free to put it on. I mean, all my engines have carburetors on. And I don't. I mean, I could pull that off. I don't really feel like it because what I want to do is I want to take this, after I get done doing this live stream, what I want to do is I want to take this Rocat Hybrid out and give it a rip because the weather has definitely changed. It's the high is in the 50s today, and then yeah, it's just gonna be getting cooler than that. But we got, what was it, an inch and a quarter of rain just not too long ago, so there's a lot of grip out there. I thought it might be fun to rip and tear up the yard a little bit, so that's what I was gonna do after this live stream. So I was just gonna come at you with this little live here, and what we ended up doing for all the people who've just joined. I've been looking at my comments section, and there's nothing been going on in there. But what we've done for the people who've just joined is we put a spiral diaphragm in this, and so yeah, this is the engine the carburetor it came out of. So we could probably put the needle and seat back in, and I suppose I can extend this live a little bit, and we'll just go ahead and put this one back together because it does kind of take practice to do this. I lost my spring. Oh, there it went. These springs, you don't want to lose them, because if you lose them, you're going to be screwed because you're not going to be able to find it, guaranteed. I've had it happen. So now we need our lever. Hey, come on. There, I think we got it. Yeah. Yep, we got it. I'm just starting to get good at this. There we go. And then we can put, since I didn't ruin this gasket, we can reuse it. Set that down here. And there we go. Come on. There we go. Okay, that's fitting out, should. That way I can keep, that way I got the carburetors assembled, because this one was in pieces. I don't want to keep pieces of it, because I might be able to stick it on. I mean, The only thing we changed on that thing was the diaphragm. So we'll see if that does anything. And then if that, what we'll probably end up doing is after I run the Rocat in the live, or I mean, not in the live, but after I get done the live, I'm gonna run the Rocat out back. And after I do that, what I'll probably do is pull that. I don't know what carburetor is on it. It's probably an 1107 or something like that. But because there's no numbers on it. But then I'm gonna put this Rooster Tail 990 on it with the spiral diaphragm in it and see how it runs. I might like it. So, hey, what's up, bug bashing? What causes the carb to flood even after cleaning and stripping? That if your needle's not seating, that will cause it to flood. I have fitted a new carb. Kids double check the needle height, but still can't get them to stop flooding. Are you running the spiral diaphragm? Because that's the kicker. If you run the spiral diaphragm and you don't have that lever set right on your diaphragm, it's not going to work right. That would be the thing. That's what this thing's for. So when you run it over that lever, you know, that little finger that stick out is just supposed to touch this. And if it's too high, basically when you put the diaphragm on, it's going to hold the needle down. And then if it's too low, the diaphragm won't be able to close it. Or I might have it backwards, just depending on how it is, because it is actually backwards. Because this is the top and the needle's going down that way. So yeah, if the lever's too tall, then it would hold the needle open, and if the lever's too short, it would not open it. Yeah, that's the way the deal is. So not using spiral diaphragm. Okay. I would still go to that. Have you actually, let me see. Okay, so did you put a new carburetor on it, or did you just put a rebuild kit in it? Because if you put a rebuild kit in it, that doesn't do anything for your needle seat, because your needle seat could be leaking. I'll wait for you to comment back. But yeah, that'd be the thing. I fitted a rebuild kit. Yeah, that's so I just put the needle back in there and I just put this carburetor back together, dang it. But okay, so when I had this apart, okay, so you can pull the needle out, but there's a seat that needle seats against. Okay, so if the seat is bad, then it can leak fuel around it, and that will cause a flooding issue. Or like I said, if you don't have that lever set right, you shouldn't have to mess with a stock carburetor. You shouldn't have to mess with that lever. I wouldn't think, but yeah. So I guess another question would be, did the new carburetor take care of the issue? I was just going to ask that because that's most generally that's one of the easiest things to do. I mean, I can't remember what I paid for this. I think it was like $125 or something like that. I know I paid like $210 or $230 for the 78 millimeter kit, or the 28 millimeter kit that's on the 71. Yeah, I'm gonna more likely say that the seat was worn, because like they'll give you a new needle and stuff with the rebuild kit, but if you don't do anything with the seat that the needle seats in, it could still leak fuel by it. And I've seen issues where that seat has actually fallen out, so that can also cause an issue like that. If you don't have anything to seal your needle, it's just gonna flow fuel. It'll actually overflow. I mean, because what that diaphragm is doing is it's pumping fuel off of a pulse of the engine. You know, that little pulse. Okay, so this little pulse hole, you have the same one on the intake side of your engine, you know, with your plastic spacer. And what happens when that piston goes down, I believe, is when you get that pulse. When the piston goes down, it sends a pulse of air through that hole. and that in turn pushes the diaphragm up or down. And then when the piston goes up, it sucks the diaphragm down, and it basically, that's how it pumps fuel. So I got a box full of flooding cars. Oh yeah, well that sucks. This one here would not deliver fuel. I had exactly the opposite problem. Instead of flooding out, it wouldn't pick up fuel. And I still don't know if I've done anything. All I did was change the diaphragm, and the other one, it didn't look bad, but I noticed when I took it apart, and I remembered back when I first started messing with these diaphragms, they say when you take this plastic piece off and you turn it over, if you see a bunch of dirt, it's not really dirt, it's actually diaphragm material is what it is. But if you see a bunch of that, 9 times out of 10, you got a weak diaphragm. And that could be what I saw, because in this carburetor more than likely probably did come off the 40 GT, because I ran that thing for like 3 years with the same carburetor on it. So yeah, before I got the 71. Actually, I don't even know if I put a different carburetor on the 40 GT. I think I always had the 990 rooster tail on it. And then I started getting the bigger carburetors when I moved up to the 71 Supreme, because I had that WJ on that it came with. And then I knew about the 28 millimeter kit, and I was like, I wanted to test that out and see what it's like. And man, that freaking kit, I'll tell you what, that like doubled the power out of the 71 Supreme, like probably even more. It almost felt like it had another engine on it. I don't know, hard to explain. Big boost of powering. Definitely noticeable. So yeah. So anything anybody else wants to talk about? Anything, any questions? Anybody got anything on their mind? I'm just out here kind of rambling and shit. We got our carburetor done up. I still can't believe I got both of those needles and seats and lever, and you won't be able to, you won't know what I'm talking about until you actually try to do it yourself. Then you'll understand what the hell I'm talking about. Because you got to slide the lever in there, and you got to hold the spring in. Then you got to get that other rod underneath the screw. It's kind of a deal. But yeah, I was able to get both of them first time. So let's see. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do this afternoon here. Is I'm gonna take the old road cat out. It's sunny, and I think they said a high of 59 or 60 today. So yeah, no more of that muggy. The engines are making power. That's all I'll say. So yeah, hey, no problem, bug basher or bug bashing. Yeah, no problem at all. That's what I'm here for, and I've told a lot of my subscribers, that's what actually made me start a YouTube channel. Well, it didn't actually make me start. It made me start the RC car part of it, because my YouTube channel was originally created because I had a DJI Phantom 3 drone. I used to do drone videos and stuff, and then I got in my motorcycle accident, broke my neck, suffered a traumatic brain injury, and that kind of changed the course of everything. And I think I got rid of the drone after I got the Harley, and then I only had the Harley for like 2.5 weeks, and then I crashed it. But anyways, life-changing event, and I needed something to do in my spare time because I was disabled. Doctor said I was probably never going to be able to work again if I did heal all the way. If I got back to where I could go back to work, I would be too old to work, was what they said. So kind of a crappy deal there. And so I needed something to do with my time, and I thought, well, heck, why don't we do some, I already had some 10 scale electrics, and then I saw a YouTube video of this big one, and it was gas powered. I was like, oh hell, that sounds like the perfect deal for me. And so what I did is I got into that, and then I was like, man, I need to share this with somebody. I mean, I can help people with my know-how and what I can do. And so that's actually what, that's what I was originally trying to say, is that I tell a lot of people that's what inspires me to do these videos, is when I can help people and help them figure out issues that they're having and stuff like that. So, yeah. So, well, anyways, guys, I've been on here for about an hour. I always just like to come on for an hour or so or whatever. It's right at 50 minutes right now, but I just kind of wanted to make an appearance and kind of go through this carburetor because I mentioned on the last live stream that I would probably do that. And so I wanted to kind of go through this and figure out what the hell the problem was, because I've never had a carburetor just all of a sudden quit drawing fuel, and this one did. So anyways, what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and probably quit the live stream here, guys. And then what I'm going to do is, after I get done with the live stream, I'm going to get this Rocat hybrid charged up, fueled up, and I'm going to rip it out back, and I'll film it and everything and put a video, probably put a video up of it tomorrow or something like that. But yeah, I'm going to get back into making, more content. My content kind of slowed down. The reason it did. Oh, I know it. Heck yeah. I love, I mean, if I probably wouldn't even have bought those 10 scale electric ones if I knew about this. I didn't even know about this until, what was it? This is actually the Rampage XT was my first, and this is what's left of it. I made a hybrid out of it, so that's why I call it the Rocat, because it's Red Cat, but it's actually a Roven chassis, so I call it a Rocat, and it's powered by a Taylor 35cc Case Reed version 1 engine. So yeah, but what I can't remember what I was saying, but yeah, I'm gonna probably go ahead and in the live stream, and then what I'm going to do is take this out back, and I'm going to make a video out back because the weather's changed. The cars are making all kinds of power and all that stuff, so I'm going to go out there and see what it's like. And I don't know, I'm kind of interested to see how this all works out. So anyways, guys, till next Saturday, 1 p.m., don't forget, I will see you in the next one. Have a great week, guys. Take her easy. We'll talk to you later.